we're at that point in time. We've been traveling on 2 trains. You got the people who are never going to do it, right? Fuck that.
It's fine.
That.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do it. And you got the people who are like, I'm leaning in. I'm going to like learn this stuff. And we've been kind of able to look at each other in the other train. And we've started this process now. And the people on the train that I'm jumping on, we're kind of going to the future. Right. And the people who aren't are, you're gonna live over enough period of time, which is, I don't know, 20, 30 years. We will live dramatically different lives. The people who stuck with wanting cash and to live in the physical world are going to live a more 3D, manual life. And the people who go digital and they incorporate AI and digital currencies and digital securities are going to be completely liquid, able to be anywhere in the world, doing anything they want to do. And maybe even outside of this world, right? So if Elon continues to...
I was just thinking, I was like, if Jess was here right now, my wife, she would be pacing back and forth, go upstairs, walk around, come back down. She'd be so irritated right now at the idea of, a cashless society and, and just, so she's such a distrust of the government.
I'm with her.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with her.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because when you were talking earlier, I was going to bring up Boziak, and I thought, I don't know how can I enter Boziak's whole thing, which is funny because you would think as much of it. I have a buddy named John Boziak. He's in Thailand right now. He moved to Thailand.
Oh, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks? No, not even 2 weeks. A week and a half?
Yeah, a week and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's funny because every time you would think he's so like anti-establishment, but yet he loves technology. So when you talk about things like, the Tesla bot, right, or robots in general,
yep.
And I'm like, yeah, they're going to release them, and it's going to take 10 years to work out the bugs, and then eventually they will be amazing. It will be iRobot, And for him, he's like, yeah, they'll do all the jobs, they'll do all this, and then we'll have a universal income, and we won't have to work. And I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's not possible. Like, you don't understand how the economy works. You can't just keep having babies and have robots do everything,
right? And
you get paid this much money. You have to contribute. And he's, fuck that. That's bull. And I'm like, it's because you want to believe they're going to give you $100,000 a year to just run with it, and the robots will do it. But it doesn't. It's not going to work like that. So, but I was wondering, as we were talking, I was thinking to myself, like, what happens when this is great, but what happens when you can buy a robot for $25,000 to do everything, or even now with Tesla? I think it's this year. You buy a Tesla, you can put it on an app, and while you're at work, it's driving around. It's doing Uber, basically. It's a Tesla version of Uber, picking up people, dropping them off, charging them. And so it's making its own payment. Like, what happens when I can finance a robot for $25,000 and it can get a job doing $40,000 or $50,000? Like, some people are going to be like, that's amazing. Oh my God, I bought 6 of them and I did this and I'm making this much money. Yeah, but what about the people that have bad credit, can't finance them, can't get them? They get even more poor. It's like suddenly that, which is already happening. Obviously, the middle class is shrinking. But that would be such a major shrinkage. What do you think about that? Because I'm sure you have a lot more understanding than I do. Have you at least probably had more time to think about it?
Well, I think to do what we're doing here today, 20 years ago, you would have had to be CBS. So here's you're your own network, right? With your insane. Own media distribution, your own branding, all this stuff. I think you probably, if you were to compare, I don't know how old you are, but 25-year-old Matthew
55,
to okay, if you're 50, you're 55, down. So I'm 50. So we're like the same age. I'm 54.
It's over.
It's not over. It's just beginning.
I'm positive. I feel both.
Don't even get me started on the med beds and all the stuff that we got coming.
The brass on the Titanic right now.
It feels that way sometimes.
Listen,
for sure.
I can't tell you how many pills I'm taking.